Hey everyone, this video is all about the mark makers that I use. So these I could use with my mandalas, with my art journaling, with my intuitive painting. I could use any number of these. So I'm going to start with these Micron pens. This is what I started out with when I was making my mandalas. They're Pigma Micron, and they come in, you can get them in a set, and they come in 1, 2, 3, 5. I don't have the 3 right here. 8. I don't know if you get 2 ones, and then sometimes some of the sets have a brush, and I believe you can buy them individually. The reason I used these when I was first drawing my mandalas is because my goal was to do very fine work, and this works really well. I'm using my left hand because I will not press as hard with my left hand. I'm super heavy-handed with my right hand, and these nibs are very delicate, so I broke many of them, and so with the smaller nibs, well, when I'm actually drawing for real, I use my right hand, but I can use my left hand if I need to. So you can tell a little bit of the difference between the thickness in those two. You start getting up in this size, and then you can definitely see a difference in the thickness. And my favorite right now is this 08. I go through a lot of these. I like the thickness now. So when I was first starting out, I wanted my mandalas to be very fine and delicate. And then as I've grown into my mandalas, I do like the thicker line. So this 08 is my favorite. For filling in, brush markers are my number one. So I will always choose a brush marker. It's like painting to me, and I love using them. So that said, I know I pulled some out. Now I can't find them. I also use Sharpies. I don't usually use the ones that have the nib like this, the extra fine, I guess they're called. I just usually, because I'm usually coloring, so I line with black normally. Not so much like now, I'm all over the place, but when I was starting out. And then I like to color. The Sharpies got super great color, super strong pigment. It does soak through to the other side, so you have to be conscious of that. But I do love Sharpies. I also like the Tombos. I haven't used them too much. I know a lot of card makers use the Tombos. I like this because, well, the colors are fabulous and they're blendable. So if you're into that, you can do that. And this particular one is double-sided. And so it has more like it's a little thinner than a Sharpie, than this size Sharpie. But I really like these. I only have like a set of 10 of these. I wouldn't mind having more, but I probably wouldn't go out and buy them because I already said I'm hard on pens. I'm very heavy-handed. So these are called, I don't know if it's gonna, hoo-hoo. I got these for Christmas. They are also double-sided. So this is a brush. Again, I love the brush. This comes in a whole set. And honestly, I don't remember how much they were, but there's not much difference between the colors lots of times. So I think that I'm gonna get one color and it's just kind of the same as another color that I did. So the difference between them, like that one and this one. I guess side by side you can tell, but when I'm, yeah, I mean, they're good. I'm guessing they didn't cost very much because I did get them for Christmas. And then the other side has just like these, the Pigmas, the Microns. They don't really write as well. Like when I'm writing with the ink, it's not smooth and it feels kind of dry. So those are those. Yeah, so here's a brush Sharpie. These are, I like these. Super pigmented. So if you want super vibrant color, go with your Sharpie. These are really pretty though too. So that's why I have hundreds of pens, because I like all different looks depending on what I'm going for. Okay, so those are just the regular pens I use. And then the kind of specialty ones, I guess you could call them. I love the jelly rolls. So the jelly, they make all different kinds. This is called Moonlight, and these are really bright and neon, and I love them. I love them, I love them, I love them. So I use these a lot. I can't even tell you how many sets of these that I have purchased over the years, but they write on top of paint. Not sure how they're going to do on that Sharpie, but not as nice on the Sharpie as it is on the other one. I'm not going to keep. So those are those. I'm going to show you some more of the jelly rolls, getting into the metallics. So these are my favorite fine line metallics. So, oh, they're so pretty. So, I use these a lot because I like metallic. So these are just called metallic. These ones with the sparkly lids. Of course, that one's not going to work. And then this one, like Stardust. I think this one is called Stardust. And it's a little more glittery than metallic-y. Still love these. So you might call that glitter more than metallic. These, these are called gold. So they're Jelly Roll Gold. And these are really interesting because it shows that this is like a purpley pink. And when you draw it down, it's that pretty kind of mauvey pink color. But then you'll see when it dries kind of gold, so it's hard to tell. It's hard to differentiate between the colors. Here's a green. So I'm going to put it next to the pink. And when they go down, they look really different, so you can really see a difference. But then as they dry, they're very interesting. So I hope you can see this. So this is, I think it's called Stardust. That's what that one is. This is the metallic. And then these are the gold ones. So they go down a certain color and then they kind of change. They're all very cool and they all work really well. Super sparkly. So those are my jelly rolls. So I have some more metallic pens to show you. So this is just a regular Faber-Castell Pitt pen. It's called Gold, and it's just like a felt tip pen. And it's gold, but there's no shine or shimmer or anything to it. So I'm not a huge fan of these myself. Here's another one. This is a copper. Some of these I just like the color, so I would use them. The gold I don't like at all. There's kind of a pinkish color that I kind of like, but there's nothing special about these pens to me. So and then here's a silver, metallic silver Sharpie. So these are not, there's nothing really special about these. It's hard to find a good large nib metallic, just a pen. The fine point ones, these are by far my favorite. They're the Uniball Signo. This is the gold. And of course, it's not going to work. Silver. So good. These are my favorites. I use these all the time, and the white. I wish I could buy the white in packs of 20, but I can't. I could if I would. I would if I could, if it was available. So those are just kind of the regular pens. Now I'm going to get into the paint pens. The metallic paint pens. Again, it's hard to find a good one. This is a Sharpie paint pen, gold. So it's a little better than the regular Sharpie marker, but no, it's not great. It doesn't have the nice glimmer like the finer point pens do. This one's not bad. So you do have to shake them and pump them. And sometimes when you pump them, a big glob of paint comes out. Again, I'm showing you these. They're not my favorites, but they are what they are. These are called Artisto. And this is supposed to be a metallic pen, but I don't know. They don't blow my socks off. They're better, but they still just, I feel like I'm just lacking the metallic, really. Not seeing it. So, not a favorite. Here's a Artisto medium point. That was a fine point. So this has got a bigger, thicker point. I can compare it to the Sharpie. It's got a better color, but still not rocking my socks. These are the Posca. So I don't have these in the thick ones. These are the 0.7, so they're thinner. They're much better. So the Posca, if I have to use one, I would choose the Posca every time. And I use every color of Posca paint pen that I can get my hands on, and every size nib. I like the fine and the medium and the thick, so I use them all. So this one, I might get gloppy here. The gold doesn't, again, the silver's good. The gold, this particular gold is just lacking something for me again. This, I like the metallic of that. I don't know. Now these, these are the funniest paint pens. So I got these. I was on a wine tasting trip with my friends. We were at a random winery in Eastern Washington, and there was a set of these glitzy glitter markers. And I think there's, I want to say it's a set of 8, maybe 10. And they were like $11. But I love these things. It's just the weirdest, craziest, random thing. And I haven't even looked for these on Amazon. So they have a really thick tip, but they are so pretty. Every bit as pretty as the jelly, and thicker, so you can color in better. And the color's just fabulous. I just love them. So I have like green, orange, purple, blue. Can't think what else I have. Well, I'll have to go gather them because I have more pens in the other room. But I love those. So I don't know if you would consider this metallic. These are more glittery, sparkly. And these are all more metallic. But these that claim to be metallic, non-metallic at all. So except for these, the Posca silver and the Sharpie silver. Okay, so I went and found my stash, my little pouch that I actually carry with me whenever I leave the house. So this has a gold in it that's working better. So again, this is the Uniball Signo, and one of the glazed pens that I was trying to do over here. So I'm gonna color a swatch and let it dry so you can see what I'm talking about with these glazed pens. They're cool. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry, and then we'll come back when it's dry so you can see what that looks like. So now I'm going to show you some regular paint pens that I use. This is a Molotow. Not sure how you say it. It's a Molotow for one for all. I used these before I discovered the Posca. They're okay, but I don't love them like I do the Posca. But, you know, they're okay. And the colors are similar, and I just prefer a Posca. But here's another pink one that you might be able to see a little bit better. That's a nice, pretty, bright pink. The Sharpie paint pen is actually colorful like that. It's almost exactly the same pink. So that's pretty. So here's the Posca. I have 3 sizes. So I have the white in a 0.7. This is a 0.9. And this is a it's either 1.8 or 1.6. I guess in our world it's 0.1, 1.3, and 2.5 or something. So this is the big mother, and I would use this on paintings, big paintings, medium-sized paintings, if I wanted to get a really clean black line. So that's that. This is the medium. So this is good. I like these. They're just, I don't know. They just feel better on the paper. So I just like them better. It's just a preference. That's still kind of wet. Show you the white. This is it's a fine point. It has glitter on it. That's funny. So it's good. It's a good white pen. I do prefer this, the Uniball Signo white pen. I don't know. To me, it's more opaque. It seems whiter. I don't know. Can't describe it. I just like it better. But this also works very well. Sometimes I run out of these. Like, I probably have a dozen right now that are like on their last legs, and I need to purge them and start throwing them out. But this is a good white pen. So you can kind of, that paint might have still been just a little bit wet on there, but you can kind of see the difference between the Posca paint pen, and I would go over that again after this dries with the white, so I'd have to do it twice. Sometimes I would have to do that with the Uniball too, but I don't know, just see how, it's just better. It's just my favorite white pen in the whole world. So there you see it in action. So those are my paint pens. I do use some Sharpie paint pens. Again, I don't love them. I bought them to try them, but I'll never probably use them again. This is a opaque oil-based paint marker, and I should note that the Sharpies are also oil-based. So sometimes it's hard to do things over them. So if you're doing mixed media, this has a good color. I don't know. I just have my favorites. I can't really tell you why. These have quite a strong odor because they're oil-based. And I think these can go on anything like glass, plastic, anything. So that is an advantage to these. I don't know if the acrylic paint pens can. So this is an Artisto. Now these are pretty good. These fine lines, they work really well. And I bought them just to try a less expensive paint pen, but to be honest, nothing beats the Poscas. So, see, this kind of, I don't know, misses in and out. I don't know. Just a preference. Okay, so those are the paint pens. So this is dry. I don't want to get it too close, but I don't know if you can see it still, it's shiny. And when you rub your hand over it, you can feel it. So it's like, it's raised a little bit. So those glaze pens are really fun to, if you color them like a big area, they're kind of, they shine a little bit, and they just give it a whole different texture when you're when you use those. So those are cool. So I do have colored pencils. I have a few different kinds, and these are all pretty higher end colored pencils. I like bold color, and so I go for the higher. The Prismacolor is probably the lowest quality of the ones I have. I have this Stabilo. The thing I don't like about the Stabilo is they don't tell what color it is. So you just kind of have to go by the outside. They're really smooth though, and they have really good color and coverage. So something to think about. Here it is. Again, I don't know what color this is because they don't have the colors. But I like these, how these feel. These are probably my favorite. They're the Derwent Inktense. And some of these are water soluble, but I don't think these are. But I love how pigmented they are. So this is Poppy Red. This one's violet. Looks more like an indigo. But those are cool. So I would use any of these equally. Derwent, Prismacolor, Stabilo. And then I have these, it looks like they're called Ebus. I think also I got these as a gift. And they're supposed to be metallic, but they're not really. They're very pretty colors though. So these are like shades of colors that you might not normally get in a colored pencil set. They're kind of a muted muted colors. So those are fun. I guess when you look at it in the light a certain way, it's kind of metallic. But those are basically my pen and pencil mark makers. I'm going to come back in another video with different kinds of mark makers, like Inktense blocks and some other just kind of not fancy but specialty things that I have to show you what those look like.